Hello and welcome to Kody and Korbin Have a Podcast, the show where two former roommates
And they were
talk about a new movie every week. But this week, we're talking about lots of new movies, movies that haven't even come out. We're bringing back the way too early Oscar prediction show. Something just fell in the background, but we're going to keep it going because this is live. We're podcasting. I'm Korbin Zvokel, and I'm here with Kody Webb, my co-host. Kody, are you ready to predict Oscar nominees once again?
Oh, I'm very, very ready. I tell you what, that's probably top 10 intro for me all time. Things dropping in the background. I don't know what's going on, but
We roll with the punches around
respect
here.
to you. Oh, great intro, great intro.
Hot dog buns fell off the refrigerator. That's what happened.
Not the hot dog was, but yeah, I'm pumped to be back, man. I think the last time we did this, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, great guest for it. But yeah, I'm pumped. I think I have a lot better picks this time. I think maybe I got ragged on a little bit last time for my picks. So I made a lot more research, came in prepared this time. But yeah, I'm excited. It's definitely be a good time.
Yeah, so this is not the first time we've done this, like you just mentioned. All the way back, season 2, episode 9, around this time last year, we brought on Carter. We're bringing him back. Welcome Carter Sims to the show, the co-host of the Rough Cut Retrospective, to do some Oscar nominee predicting. Are you ready, Carter?
I'm born ready, as always. I feel like I should throw something in the background too. Should I drop something to be in touch with you?
Save it for later in the episode to keep the people guessing.
Yeah, you're right. Foreshadow. That's good podcasting.
This is a video version. If you're watching on YouTube, maybe you'll see. Carter
Whoa! I should have dressed up. Dang.
Hey, we're all looking great, and for all the people listening, you're missing out. That's all I can say.
That's true. I'm in my childhood bedroom for everyone that's watching, so you're welcome for that.
Last year, we kind of talked about our relationship to the Oscars. My question just in general this year is, how are we feeling about this year in movies? Kody, again, you've probably not seen as much as Carter and I, so we'll start with you. How does this movie year feel in comparison to others?
Yeah, automatically. I mean, another KHAP classic, just throwing me under the bus right away. But you're not wrong. You guys have seen probably a few more movies than me this year. But yeah, I mean, in general, I feel like maybe it hasn't been the best year. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but maybe a little bit underwhelming, especially the summer. I think we talked about that in a previous episode as well. But I mean, all in all, Oscar season, I feel like it can go either way just because there's so many releases coming out. You don't know what's going to be good. You don't know what's going to be terrible. So, I mean, it's kind of a flip of the coin, but I would say as a whole, the year has been underwhelming in my eyes.
Carter, what about you?
Yeah, compared to last year, I think last year was sneakily a pretty great year in movies. I think 2019 was as well. I feel like we're having every other thing going on. I mean, there have been some good ones this year for sure. Some that have shocked me, some that have really let me down. But I think it's going to be a pretty average year at the Oscars. And who knows if the ceremony will even be fun. If someone's not getting hit, I don't think it's going to be worth my time this year. I don't know. We're going to see. But I always watch. So
yeah, obviously I'm going to watch the Oscars. I'm looking forward to it. But I think the outlook at this point in the year, looking to the next 3 months, is probably a little bit more disappointing than where we were at last year in September. I was a little bit more excited about stuff. There's not as much to be excited about. I feel like we had a stronger first half than probably last year, but then, looking to the coming months, which should be the good movies, the award season movies, I'm unsure. I'm a little shaky. Obviously, we just had a couple big film festivals happen where a lot of these movies premiered, and some of them received some rough reviews. We'll get into that as we get through it. But let's talk about what we're doing here today. If you hadn't listened to the last episode, we're going to be picking a potential nominee for multiple different Oscar categories. In total, we've decided on 19. Last year, we did 17 Oscar categories. This year, we're doing 19. Those categories are Best Documentary, Best International. Those are the two we added. And then, of course, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects, Best Editing, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Animated Feature, Best Screenplay, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Best Actress, and of course, Best Picture. And then for those actor, actress, and picture, we have 2 picks apiece just to kind of widen things out. Now, the thing that makes this difficult, 1, again, there's a lot of movies that haven't come out. And then 2, once you select a movie to be nominated in one category, it can't be used in another category. So Top Gun Maverick, huge movie that came out this year. If if I pick it to win Best Documentary or to be nominated for Best Documentary, one, that's probably not going to go over well for me. And two, I can't use it in any other category. So it's a double loss. Any thoughts, guys, before we get into things? How are we feeling about this? Are you feeling confident in your picks?
Is Top Gun Maverick not a documentary? Because that's going to really hurt me.
I was kind of banking on that as well.
There might be, I don't know. I'll have to go to the Oscars to get the official ruling on that. We're not members of the Academy. We can't, Marcel the Shell is an animated movie. So anything.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this was harder than last year. Like when I was doing this, I felt kind of confident doing it. I'm really unsure about a few. So I have some calls that I'm just going to make on the spot. I have a few that are written down, for some of them. And I literally just made a change like 5 minutes ago. So I'm feeling very uneasy about all of this, but pretty confident about some.
Wow. Well, that's bold of you for sure.
Yeah. And it's great to hear from my perspective, just because I think, Carter really ran this competition last time we did.
The reigning champion.
Yeah. And I don't think it was particularly close. So, that's good to hear.
Definitely not for you, Kody.
Justice for In the Heights, man. Justice.
True. Deserve better. But funnily enough, I'm kind of feeling confident. That's what I said last year too. But I feel like all of my picks in my head make sense. But the Academy, who knows what they're thinking? So we'll find out soon enough.
Last year, Carter got 13 out of 20. I got 8 out of 20, and Kody got 3 out of 20. And one of the movies he picked did not even release. Everybody else at least picked movies that came out.
Surely got more than 3. That's got to be wrong. Come on, dude. I think we need to fact check that one.
It was a bad showing. When the Oscar nominees release, which I think is a little bit later than last year, I think it's mid-March this year or next year, we will come back once again and reveal the nominations and reveal the winner. Personally, I was excited, and then I kind of found out how some of these movies did over the past weekend, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I need to backtrack a little bit. I definitely think it's going to be even harder because I think there's going to be less parity. I did look in total last year, outside of the animated, because really only animated movies are nominated for that category, and outside of the Best International, there was 26 different movies nominated. So there is a potential that you could play this game where you get a different movie for every category. So I'm excited for what everybody has to talk about. And I'm excited to hear about some movies that I haven't heard about, because that's kind of what this was last year as well. It was, hey, what are some of these underground picks that maybe some people haven't heard about, and what should we be looking for in the coming months? What do you think, guys? Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. I want to thank everyone for joining us for these exciting announcements, celebrating the heroes of movie making.
So we're going to go ahead and start with that new category that we're bringing in, Best Documentary.
Oh,
Kody, you're a big doc guy. You love documentaries. What do you think is going to get nominated for Best Doc at the Oscars?
Yeah, good question. I feel like you're saying that sarcastically. I do actually like documentaries. I'm a big ESPN 30 for 30 guy. Check those out. Huge. But for this one, I think I have a great pick. I did do a little bit of research of, what's releasing, all that good crap. And the one that really stood out to me, there's this one called Fire of Love. And basically it's just about volcanoes, like just straight up scientists going into volcanoes. The visuals on it look absolutely crazy. So I'm going to pick that one just purely because it looks sick. Didn't look into, too many other ones, to be completely honest, because it's documentaries. But who doesn't love volcanoes? I actually might check this out after seeing some of the stills and stuff. Yeah.
I think Carter and I saw a trailer for this movie together.
We did.
So that's seen the trailer. It does look pretty interesting. It's essentially a love story set against volcanoes, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, well, I feel like the best way to see that would be in the theater too. Like if you watch at home on your TV, you're just doing the volcanoes disservice basically. So yeah, might have to check that.
You ever seen a documentary in a movie theater, Kody?
I've not.
I haven't either. Carter?
That'd be a great one to start. Yes,
I have actually. I saw the Mr. Rogers one in a theater. That was pretty cool. And a lot of grown men crying in the theater. So maybe I'll do that for this as well. Who knows?
Were you one of them or?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. I didn't really have a relationship to Mr. Rogers, and then I watched it and I was like, dude was kind of cool. And then I cried.
I think that's the
Respect.
best kind of documentary when you learn some. Obviously, you learn something new. You gain a new respect for somebody.
For sure.
Carter, since you're apparently the documentary expert, the in theater documentary expert, what's your pick?
True. I've seen one more than you guys, therefore expert. I don't know if I should feel scared about this or confident, but I'm with Kody here. I picked Fire of Love. The trailer looks gorgeous. It's a National Geographic doc. It's literally about these two volcanists. I don't know. Volcanologists. That's it. And they are like in love. They like are a married couple. They loved each other and they loved volcanoes. And they, spoiler alert, but they die in a volcanic eruption, and it's just about their love for volcanoes and doing the dangerous stuff. A lot of great archive footage, cool stuff. So yeah, it looks cool. So Kody, I think you're a wise man to pick this. I went with that as well. Looks great.
Huge spoiler alert there at the end, but I'll forgive you for it. I guess it is a true
is it
story.
In the trailer,
so.
like, don't they say like they lost their lives in the trailer or something? I can't remember. It's been a while since I saw the trailer, but they do. It's in the description too on Letterboxd, guys.
Okay, there you go. I mean, again, you're spoiling true events, I guess, right? So it's
sorry. The Titanic crashed, guys.
How much?
I hate to burst your bubble, but yeah.
My movie is about somebody who didn't die, but was almost killed. It is essentially is a movie called Navalny. I have talked about it on the podcast before. I watched it 2 months ago. The big reason I wanted to do this best documentary category because it's like, hey, I've actually seen a movie that might get nominated and I want to talk about it. So
nice.
What this movie is it follows Alexei Navalny, who's this Russian politician, anti-Putin politician who had an assassination attempt on him last year. And it basically follows their investigation. And there are some truly like surprising and shocking moments and like really interesting investigative reporting, as well as just things caught on camera that I don't want to spoil. That are just really amazing. So definitely a cool story. Obviously, Russia and the power that Putin has in that country, very topical as always, and definitely one that I would recommend checking out. Very interesting story.
Very interesting.
That sounds like a good one, but
and it's available on HBO Max.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. But you're going against the grain here, Korbin. We're ganging up on you, so I don't know if that's a good pick. In hindsight.
Hey, I'm just trying to be different, man. I'm trying to go against the grain. Trying to be a maverick. Let's go on to best international feature. And again, another one that I've seen, a movie I want to talk about. It's RRR. And I have talked about it on the podcast before. This 3 hour 15 Tollywood epic from SS Rajamouli. Just an incredible movie. Historically, surprisingly, not a lot of Tollywood or Bollywood films have been nominated for this category. A lot of American films in India, Slumdog Millionaire, stuff like that, but not a lot of, true Indian films. And I think this is the year this movie kind of transcended beyond kind of just staying within its country. It was really big on Twitter for a little bit, was seen by a ton of people, and it's widely available on Netflix, which I think is great. That's awesome that you can just go on to Netflix and see a movie like this that you typically wouldn't be able to. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. And it's my pick for this category.
That's a solid pick. I've yet to see that still. I need to dedicate the 3 hours to watch it, but it looks awesome.
Definitely worth it. Very engrossing.
Hell yeah.
I agree. And to bounce off that, I'm also going to agree with you, Korbin. I'm picking RR. Representing India out here, like you said, give them a little bit more representation. Excuse me. But I have not seen this film. I'm just going solely off your word, Korbin, and you're really hyping it up. So, there are a couple other, I feel like, maybe obvious choices here, looking over some of the prospects. But I got to go with my heart. RR, great title. I have seen like a few scenes from it, and it's just absolutely wild. Like you said on Twitter, I think he was booming for a little bit. So I think the Academy just like respects the longevity of a film like that too. It is on Netflix, so that has it going for it too. But RR baby, represent.
Yeah, my only fear with this movie that it is more of like a genre blockbustery type thing. And
Yeah.
obviously with this category, it's literally every movie that's not made in America. So like take 195 other countries that can submit stuff. There's a lot of options, and it's a small category, so it potentially doesn't get the nominee. There's some other movies that might get mentioned later that will also be up for this category potentially. So Carter, what's your pick?
Can I say what I had first earlier
Sure.
this week that
Yeah.
I took off? I had Alejandro Inarritu's Bardo here. But it premiered at Venice Film Festival this week, and people were not vibing with it. So I took it off. And instead, I went with a Belgian film. And I went with a movie called Close by Lucas Dont. It's been premiering at some festivals. He had a movie 2 years ago, I think, called Girl that was pushed. They pushed hard to get into the Oscar category for international feature. Didn't get in there. I think this year might be his moment. So it's about these two boys who have this close relationship at their school, and they're the kids make fun of them for what could be a gay love story, and then tragedy strikes somehow, and one kid is forced to confront why the distance between them occurred. So it sounds pretty deep, sounds pretty powerful, and yeah, it's a young filmmaker, kind of trying to make it into the big scene. So I think
A24 film as well.
Yes,
a little
crucial.
power there.
Mhm.
Are you gonna only pick sad movies, Carter, or
That's
is there
the
gonna be some
goal.
positivity coming
No,
later?
no, that's the goal. I'm hoping there's tragedy in each of my films. I'm hoping. If I pick Don't Worry, Darling, it's just the tragedy of that film. So, yeah. So Close from Belgium, Lucas Dont.
Great pick. Let's move on to best makeup and hairstyling. And Carter, why don't you take it away?
Okay, this one was tough because I feel like there's an obvious choice, but I wanted to use that somewhere else. So for here, I picked a movie that I have seen, and I picked it for two characters in particular in the film. I picked the Batman.
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
For makeup and hairstyling, mainly for Colin Farrell's transformation of the Penguin, and then a little bit of our Barry Keoghan as the Joker. I'm getting a head shake from Kody on that one. That's a bummer.
Kody hates that Joker.
That's
it's bad.
rough. Well,
it's very bad.
Well, he does have makeup, is what I can say, and so I'm hoping if just for the Colin Farrell stuff alone, will get me in. But I wanted to use other films elsewhere, so I'm going with the Batman. Other people have hair in that movie too and makeup, so they had to put eye black
eye makeup. First time we've seen it without the mask, so that's huge.
Really breaking down that fourth wall. I love it. So yes, the Batman for makeup and hairstyling for me.
Honestly, it doesn't even feel like this movie came out this year. Like
so long ago.
Seems so long ago. Kody, I'll throw it over to you. Do you agree? Is the Batman the pick or what?
I do disagree. I mean, the thing is with a lot of these movies is where to place them. And
you think this is going somewhere else?
Oh, this is going 100% somewhere else for me. I don't know if it's going to be correct, but I do agree with what Carter's saying there. And the eye black as well is so cool. I think deserves a nod for that alone. But there's a couple other ones where like obviously they're using some prosthetics and stuff, notably the whale, which you might pick, Korbin. But I wanted to use that somewhere else as well. So I ended up going with Blonde. Ana de Armas. Yeah, obviously transforming a little bit, to get into character with Marilyn Monroe. And also it's just Ana de Armas. So I kind of just wanted to pick that because I didn't really have this anywhere else. So I wanted to shout out Blonde. But kind of these like lower tier categories I feel like is hard because I want to use the big movies for the bigger ones because I feel like that's the obvious stuff. So when we get down to like costume design, sort of like In the Heights last year, I kind of just run out of choices and pick something random. But I'm confident in Blonde. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, because like in Blonde, she has to act and you got to have makeup that can withstand things when people are acting, right? Kody, is that kind of the thought process here?
Not what I was saying. No, I mean, what do you mean? Marilyn Monroe you got to go blonde. She's got great makeup on.
True, hairstyling. I mean, the hairstyle is very important. It's literally in the
massive.
title. So
it sounds like you're dogging me, dude, but I don't know. Kind of tough.
He's playing mind games, Kody.
He's in my head, 100%.
Hey, you're shaking. That's all I can say. I decided to go with the movie Babylon from Damien Chazelle. I think this will probably pop up in some other categories as well. It's got Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. But the big thing is they just released some screen stills from this movie a couple of days ago. And Tobey Maguire is in this movie. And he looked like he was dying. And you know how they did that, Kody? Makeup and hairstyling. So my pick here, that's true. But his hair looked quite crazy as well. And it's also, it's a period piece. It's very old Hollywood. I think, it's very much a thing that the Oscars want to respect, especially in like a craftsmanship sort of perspective. Production design, makeup, hairstyling, costume design. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets in all of those categories. And I just decided to place it here for that particular Tobey Maguire still that I saw.
He did look rough. He looked worse for wear there, and it was good stuff.
He kind of looks like Raul Julia in what's those movies? The scary ones. You know what I'm talking about? The Addams Family. There it is. Come on, help me out. Oh. He really does look like Raul Julia from those movies, though. I thought that was really funny. But those stills are great. This movie, I'm definitely going to talk about it later, but I'm actually pretty excited. I mean, Damien Chazelle, that guy doesn't miss. So good pick.
Yeah, bold of you to put it in makeup and hairstyling. I respect it. I mean, I think it's a shoo-in, but I saved it for somewhere else for sure.
I will say this. The Batman is not going to appear on my list. So
whoa,
I guess it is maybe just that it was so long ago. Maybe I kind of forgot about it. I feel like
honestly, I did too.
That movie, it kind of came and went. Like it was really good, but I just feel like in terms of staying power, like Kody talked about it really hasn't lasted in the same way. And obviously Warner Brothers and, are we even going to get a sequel to this movie? There's a lot up in the air. And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get any love. Maybe
I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah.
Maybe score, maybe makeup, hairstyling I could see if anywhere, but I'm curious for sure. Let's move over to best production design, and I'll throw it over to Kody.
Perfect. That's a perfect transition because I picked the Batman.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is probably its strongest category. I mean, the production design of just Bruce Wayne's house alone is ridiculous. And then like the feel of Gotham, I think is so cool. I think it deserves a nom, maybe like you said, because of the longevity it won't. But like this was just the first thing that came to mind for production design for movies I've seen this year. So that's where I'm throwing it. I think it deserves a nom at least.
Respectable. I actually hate Bruce Wayne's manor in this movie. I love the Gotham that they create, but I do not like Bruce Wayne's manor. But for the Gotham, for the Gotham, I think it's cool. The Batcave, in my opinion, is kind of lame for what you could do with the Batcave, but sure, Kody, production is.
I mean, I feel like just the design of his house alone like took forever. Like they don't care if it, fits the tone of the movie or whatever. They're
the volume, man. They use the volume, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, they use the volume.
And now no one else uses it anymore.
That was a fun year and a half.
Wasn't it?
Carter, what do you think in best production design?
Okay, here's where my Oscar history kind of helped me a little bit. This is where I kind of used this. I'm going Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I'm doing that because Black Panther in 2018 won this award for production design. The same people that did that are doing this production design on the new film. I think it looks bolder strokes, a lot of water settings in this one. So that looks cool. So I'm really expecting a lot of just in the trailer, like the colors they're using, like everything that's going on there. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I'm hoping Oscars history will help me out. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they'll get nominated. Because I think they'll be like, we gave Black Panther an award for this last year, and we're the Oscars. We don't do that again. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever in this lane. Booyah. Superhero movies, huh, Kody? Production design.
Yeah. we're thinking on the same wavelength here, so I respect it.
I think
you're all right though.
We got screwed last year, didn't we, with production design? Because we were like Wes Anderson king, and then no. So bummer.
Yeah, that was most of my picks though. So that doesn't really remind me of anything. No, I think that is a good pick though. I mean, just that trailer alone, visually, I think is like almost ridiculous stuff. So yeah, I back that big time.
It's beautiful.
Production design was one of the 4 categories that we completely skunked out on last year.
Nice.
So hopefully we can do better. Although I'll be honest, this is right here my least confident pick. So maybe I should switch to the Batman, but I'm not going to do it because it's written down already. And
It's an ink.
I can't type the Batman. That's too long.
Sure.
I'm going All Quiet on the Western Front, which is obviously a Netflix premiering remake of the classic 1930 film. Is that right? 1930, All Quiet on the Western Front. This stars Daniel Bruhl. And listen, it's a war epic. There's gonna be a lot of production design that needs to go into it to both set it in the time period as well as just create that atmosphere. So realistically, when you only have 5 nominees, is this Netflix movie gonna get thrown in there? I don't know, but I'm picking it.
It's an international film too? Or
see, I think so. Yes, I think it might be in
Cool.
German.
maybe.
Oh,
Well, the
that's
original
not-
won Best Picture, so that
Did
could
so
help
there
you
you go.
out.
So that's the big thing right there. Oscars history, people
True.
love it. So
Nice. I love it.
we'll now move on to best costume design. And Carter, we'll make you go first.
This one was tough, mainly because all the ones that I think will get nominated for costume design, I have in bigger categories. So I had to just finesse some stuff here. I feel like this was really easy last year. We were like Cruella and then run off into the sun. A little difficult this year. I'm going with a movie that hasn't come out yet. I think it's coming out this month. I'm going with The Woman King for costume design. Pretty sick trailer. Viola Davis, kind of like her passion project, seems like. And it's just about, these tribes that are being taken over in Africa, and they have really cool wardrobe, really cool, authentic African wardrobe, it seems. And I think that it's always, the Academy always is like, listen, we see culture. They have great costumes. Let's do that. So I think they would go this route. So yeah, I'm going with The Woman King here for costume design. I don't feel great about it, but I feel okay about it. So yeah, confidence is key.
Yeah, I like that pick. I mean, the costumes definitely do look sick. It does a good job of setting things, and it does have a pretty good cast, like you said. And John Boyega is there as well. So
John Boyega having a year, by the way, man. Woof. Go boy.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just wait till he gets cast in the Fantastic Four, right, Cody?
Yeah.
Torch coming at you.
Be perfect.
My pick here has been mentioned. It's Adrienne Lyne's Blonde. Similar to Cody's thing, we've got to make her look like Marilyn Monroe, right? And obviously she has so many iconic outfits, and just the look is so important to the character. So I think it's going to be really huge that they get this right. And if they do, I think it's got a pretty good shot of getting nominated here for best costume design.
For sure.
Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, both good picks. I did go a different way and picked a movie we haven't talked about yet. I'm going to pick Amsterdam.
You don't get here without things starting a long time ago. So, 2 soldiers and a nurse found ourselves in
Amsterdam.
Has not been released yet, but does have a trailer out. Looks pretty interesting. Got a really good cast, and the costumes in the trailer are great too. Sort of an old-timey look. But in general, I'm just kind of excited to see this movie. Obviously, Christian Bale is one of the leading guys and one of my favorites. I believe John David Washington is in it as well.
Huge cast.
Somebody else too.
Here we go. Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anya Taylor-Joy, Robert De Niro, Michael Shannon, Zoe Saldana, Timothy Olyphant, Rami Malek, Taylor Swift, Mike Myers,
Taylor Swift. Yeah, I didn't know
Chris
this.
Rock.
Chris Rock. Well, he's got to show up at the Oscars now. Hell yeah. But
That
I mean, that might be
He'll
the
be there
biggest-
to support this big win for best costume design.
You better present. Yeah, that sounds like one of the most Oscar bait movies I've ever heard. So it'll probably get nominated here.
There's been some recent online discussion regarding David O. Russell and his greater antics on set. I kind of stayed away from this movie because of that reason. I'm just a little bit unsure of how it's going to be received in the greater scheme of things.
He is a notable ass on a set. I will say that. Lily Tomlin, I think, is the one that he had a big fight with on a set once back in the day. But the man made Silver Linings Playbook. So what can you do?
Yeah, American Hustle.
True. Jeremy Renner, what a performance.
Moving on to our next category, best sound. So, what is the movie with the best sound of the year? Kody, what do you think? I mean, what sounds good?
A lot of things sound good. Yeah, for this one, this is the bottom of the barrel for me. It's just, shooting something and see if it hits, basically. I'm going the Woman King. Carter made some good points for costumes, but I think the sound is really going to be exquisite in this movie. There seems to be a lot of fighting stuff going on. I'm sure that they have to do like creative stuff with, everybody fighting. That's my reasoning behind it. Not great. This was, like I said earlier, kind of, I've hit all the other movies I think will definitely get nominated. And this movie is like 100% going to get nominated for some stuff. I'm just not really sure what yet. So I'm going to throw it here and just hope it hits.
Cody, what bet can I make you? Like, how much money do you want to bet this doesn't get nominated for anything?
Oh, really? Oh, I'll bet you. I don't want to spend out too much money. I'll bet you $20 it gets nominated.
$20. All right, here we go on the podcast. $20. This movie's not getting any nominations. I'm calling it right here.
I saw the trailer. I thought it looked pretty good, actually. And it's got John Boyega in a supporting role. You can't ask for anything else, I don't think. Viola Davis she'll probably get nominated for Best Actress. If we're being honest, she's disgusting. But yeah, I backed that big time. You owe me $20 already, bud.
Hey, catch me in March. We'll see.
Jeez, it's so
I'm
long
not gonna
away.
remember.
Goodness.
My pick here, I decided to channel my inner Rami Malek, and in a Bohemian Rhapsody fashion, I chose the movie about a famous singer, and I went with Elvis.
He was my destiny.
I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley. Are you ready to fly?
I'm ready. Ready to fly.
Tomorrow, all of America will be talking about Elvis Presley.
I can't move, I can't sing. Some people want to put me in jail. The way I was moving.
Because you got to have good sound. And listen, I could hear Tom Hanks and that terrible accent very well. So I think the sound editing was very good.
We are the same, you and I.
This has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with us. That is about the shooting of MLK, if anyone was wondering.
Nice.
It has everything to do with them. Carter, what do you think? Best sound editing?
I'm not only picking a nominee, I'm picking the winner of this category. Top Gun Maverick for best sound, boys. Listen, I think Top Gun Maverick might come up later. I think it's going to clean up in the technicals this year. And I may be so bold. Actually, I won't say that because maybe someone will have it in this category later when we get there. But listen, you talk about sound. Holy cow. In a theater, the jets whooshing by, the sounds of the missiles, everything, even the sound of Hans Zimmer's beautiful score and Lady Gaga singing that song that the 21 Pilots might have almost sang. It's great stuff. Top Gun Maverick, film of the year, in my opinion. Best picture, perhaps.
I'll take it away here. And I think this is probably the most obvious pick. I'm pulling in Avatar, The Way of Water.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get nominated for this category, then this movie has to be like awful. Like that's the only way that it doesn't possibly get nominated, because obviously the first one was such a huge groundbreaking achievement. And this one, they're doing the same thing, but there's water. So get ready, folks.
True. Watch out for that water. And that CGI hand that Twitter was going crazy about.
There was rope. There was a hand.
Whoa.
There was a lot.
The water. Holy cow.
It's incredible.
Insane. Yeah, I'm with you. This feels like the obvious pick. I went somewhere else, though. Woo.
Well, let's hear it then. Where'd you go?
I went into the Marvel world. I went with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, mainly because I will admit I had Avatar here about 2 days ago. And then I had to flip some things around because then I did some more research and more finagling. And I probably shot myself in my own foot doing it. But I think there's some wacky stuff in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, of course.
He's got an eye on his forehead.
That he does. And it looks like an eye on his forehead.
Looks terrible.
And I'm hoping this will be the Academy's way of maybe rewarding VFX artists that were getting shit on by Marvel.
Rewarding Benedict for losing last year.
Correct. Yes. And
Also true. Yeah.
yeah, definitely not rewarding Thor: Love and Thunder for that god awful little kid Flash, Heimdall's son. Yeah, that's not getting nominated. So I think
floating head.
Yeah. Which apparently they have patched and fixed on the Disney Plus release I saw today. So there you go. So yeah, I'm feeling Doctor Strange doing some fun wizardy stuff with Scarlet Witch and just some cool Sam Raimi graphics. So fingers crossed. Eternals really bummed me last year. Didn't get anything for this. I remember.
Yeah, this was also not a great category for us, but Kody did pick Dune and get the win.
Nice.
He was talking a lot of shit when I picked Matrix 4. So Kody, what's your VFX pick this year?
Rightfully so, I believe. But I think me and Carter again are on the same wavelength. As the episode goes on here, I'm just feeling better and better because
you're just copying the guy who won last year.
Good strategy. That's why I always go last. Originally, I did have Avatar here as well because obviously it's going to win. Like I feel like that's about as obvious as it gets. But I'm going Multiverse of Madness because I want to put Avatar somewhere else. So I mean, those crazy like zombie shots, whatever the souls like going at Doctor Strange. That'll definitely be the shot they use or whatever.
Go to hell.
Yeah, that one. But I feel like maybe this could not get nominated, but I feel like there's not that much other like big budget stuff. So I feel like it's a fairly safe pick.
I feel like this is the only place it would get nominated. So that's if we're to get nominated. So I had to squeeze it in here if I could.
I don't particularly like this movie, if I'm being completely honest, but it probably will get nominated for visual effects.
Yeah, I think it will get nominated as well. I guess the only reason it might lose out is Black Panther being like the Marvel pick, but hey, maybe they want to really reward the VFX artists in the Marvel sphere because they do deserve it. It has been a rough 2 years for them, as I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, Kody, let's make it so you can't copy anybody. Best editing, we skunked out on last year. It was one of the ones. I think we just made a little bit of a miscalculation about the way they award these nominees. But I'm curious, Kody, maybe we can write some things. What's your pick?
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it with my pick, but the obvious one here is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I unfortunately am not going for because I really think it's going to get nominated in a different category. So instead, I'm going with, this is a big question mark on it, The Sun. It's a Hugh Jackman film. Looks pretty decent. Might check it out. Big Jackman guy. But, will it have good editing? Not too sure. It's getting good buzz and everything in this category as well. But we'll see. The Sun, Hugh Jackman. Why not?
If it's anything like its predecessor, The Father, it's going to have some really good editing, which the movie was kind of made in the editing room. If it's anything like that, the way they tell it narratively. So
yeah,
how about that?
I think that's actually a really good pick, Kody.
Wow. Well, my shot in the dark is evidently makes more sense than I thought. So
look at you, man.
Carter, what are you thinking here?
Once again, Kody and I align in his original thought.
Oh, okay.
I went Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
I picked the obvious one. This editing was insane. In the theater, I was like, how long did this take? How did they do this? I was only hesitant putting Everything Everywhere All at Once in other spots because I'm just afraid that the Academy is just going to think it's like too weird. I hope that's not the case. It would be really cool if it got nominated in like a lot of categories, not just technical stuff. Like I would love that. And maybe that's coming up later. Maybe someone's picking that. But yeah, I just think the editing is insane alone. Just the number of flashes between the different Michelle Yeoh characters. Evelyn's is insane. Really beautiful stuff and like unlike anything I've ever seen. So I love this movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Booyah.
Yeah, I think especially for like a lower budget film, what they're able to accomplish with especially the story that they're telling, the way it's edited is very important. So I think that's also a good pick as well. The big thing that I think we miscalculated last year, and I hadn't really thought about, is that really editing is just kind of like, this movie's good and we're going to nominate it for editing. More often than not, if a movie's nominated for editing, it's probably also nominated for Best Picture. Those two kind of go hand in hand. Typically, the movie that wins Best Picture is definitely nominated for editing. So I decided to basically just pick a movie that would be like my third Best Picture pick, but not in the Best Picture category. So I decided to stick The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg's upcoming semi-autobiographical story about growing up. I definitely think this is a shoe-in for Best Picture. And I think just because of that, there's a good chance that it gets nominated for editing as well.
For sure. I think I picked House of Gucci last year. So.
Yeah, I went The Green Knight, which didn't get nominated for anything. Kody's French Dispatch, again, didn't get nominated for anything. House of Gucci didn't get nominated for anything either. We sucked it up.
God, we're good. We're so good.
We're experts.
True.
Let's continue to prove that as we move on to Best Original Score. Sound is important in Top Gun Maverick, but so is the score, like we just talked about. Hans Zimmer and Lady Gaga. We got to have Lady Gaga at the Oscars. It's obviously very important.
You'd be a fool not to.
You'd be a fool not to, and they kind of were fools last year a little bit. I guess they did bring her out, didn't they? To present an award at the end.
Oh yeah, with Liza Minnelli, and it was really uncomfortable. Yep.
Yeah, so maybe they can do a better job with Lady Gaga this year and give her and Hans another award. So.
And Hans wasn't there to receive his last year, so maybe they want him in person there this time. Who knows? I like it.
Kody, Best Original Score.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'm gonna go somewhere different. This is another tough one for me. I'm gonna go with Empire of the Sun, which we've not talked about, and Thomas Newman is doing the score for that movie. It is getting some buzz. This was another one kind of just like I ran out of stuff. So I don't know a ton about this movie, but Thomas Newman is a pretty respected, at his craft, I believe. So yeah, we're going to take him. I think he's got a good shot of getting on this year.
I like it.
Of the Sun.
Sam Mendes film. No, it is. It is Empire of the Sun. You're right. It's okay. Sam Mendes film.
Sam Mendes. Yeah, that's what it was.
Wait. Hold on. Empire of Light is the Sam Mendes.
Empire of Light.
That's what it is.
There you go.
Empire of the Sun is a Steven Spielberg film from the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I just looked up and I couldn't find it because I was like,
got it.
It's coming out this year.
Hold on. Let me, because Thomas Newman's not doing this score. So what's going on, buddy?
All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Did Thomas Newman? Okay, here's what I
want to do a retake here.
Empire of the Light.
Here's what I think you've done. I think you looked up Empire of the Sun.
Trent Reznor and Atticus rocks, though. So
yes, but I don't know where you got Thomas Newman because John Williams did the score of Empire of the Sun. So I think you're just high. Yeah, I don't know.
I actually don't know. But we'll keep Empire of the Light. I mean, it is getting a lot of buzz, and that's one of the Oscar bait movies. And if Thomas Newman's not doing it, it's probably a good thing because I don't think it's that respected. So I'll go with the other guys here who actually did the score.
Thomas Newman did do the score for 1917, so he has worked with Sam Mendes.
Okay,
so
there you go.
Somewhere you did get it crossed, but Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross are doing the music for this movie, which are also, that's basically, if you're not going to pick Hans Zimmer, that's probably the next best pick. So good job, Kody, for
nice
kind of
job,
falling into that one.
End up making sense. But yeah, I think this is just yearly tradition. I got to make some sort of dumb mistake on the show.
No, you stumbled into greatness.
True.
I think that's actually not a bad pick. Now that you say
not a bad pick.
Admittedly, I've heard bad things about this movie. So
yeah, there's mixed reviews of it, for sure. But who's to say?
Carter,
I went with Empire of Light. That's not even a joke. I did, which is why I was confused when you said Empire of the Sun. So I was like, "There's 2 Empire movies." No, I went Empire of Light. Again, yes, it's getting mixed reviews. It feels like but it still feels like a movie that like the Academy is going to love because it's Sam Mendes and it's Olivia Colman. And even if it doesn't get for that, I mean, it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, Social Network, Soul, they've won many times in this category. So I think they're at least will reward the music, which I'm going off of blind faith. I haven't heard it. And again, it's a movie about like an old cinema, an old movie.
Yeah, it's like filmmaking. So it's
So the Academy loves that, even if they're bad. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I did have it in other categories, but because of its reception, I moved it to a kind of a lower tier category. So yeah. And Empire of the Sun, I would have picked in 1987 too. So
John Williams. I mean,
John Williams.
Can't go against him.
Carter, let's stick with you as we move over to best cinematography.
Oh boy. So here is where I flipped Avatar: Way of Water. I put it here.
I know one thing. Wherever we go, this family is our fortress.
It won cinematography in 2009. Avatar
Did it really? Wow.
It did, which is pretty wild. It did. So I'm thinking now, shoot, they got to put that camera underwater now, man. So maybe they'll reward another, at least with a nomination, another visual groundbreaking thing. I mean, I know we've put camera underwater before. James Cameron loves doing it. So his cinematographer probably does the same. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. The trailers look gorgeous. So yeah, I went with Avatar: Way of Water because it looks beautiful, and I wanted to put it somewhere. And if I took it out of VFX, I wanted to put it here. So cinematography, Way of Water.
A movie was nominated for 9 different awards.
Wild.
So I mean, probably can't go wrong here. No, it is a sequel. It is 12 years later, but it's James Cameron. You can probably trust the process a little bit.
I think so.
I went with a movie that we talked about. It's Bardo, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. Obviously, like you said, it has been getting some mixed reviews, but the one thing that his movies do typically have is pretty stellar cinematography. Mm-hmm. Thinking specifically of Birdman and kind of the things that they achieved there. I know he is working with a well-respected cinematographer. I think it potentially has a chance. Darius Kanji, worked on Seven, worked on Midnight in Paris, obviously classic.
Big Woody Allen guy.
yeah, big Woody Allen guy. But no, he did DP on Uncut Gems as well. So he's done a lot of great work and
got range.
Maybe it's got a chance to get nominated here. The thing is, this movie has been getting bad reviews. Alejandro Inarritu's movies have been very well received at the Oscars. He's won 2 Best Director awards. Yep. So it wouldn't be surprising if this movie still received a good amount of nominations despite it all.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't be shocked at all.
We'll throw it over to you, Kody, for the final pick in this category.
Yeah. I think Bardo's not the best pick. I feel like the obvious pick here is Avatar 2. I think it's the shoe-in to win as well for this and visual effects. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. But yeah, I'm basically just bouncing exactly what Carter said. I did do my research.
I'm scared.
It did win, and 09, 10, whatever it was. But I feel like this is about as obvious as it gets, and Carter had all the main points. But Jimmy Cameron, I mean, The Abyss, another great water movie. It's basically The Abyss and Avatar into one. I mean, how can you complain? So yeah, I'm rocking with it.
The Abyss is so underrated, by the way.
I agree.
Just throw that out there. No one picked Roger Deakins. Poor guy.
He's washed up. He's old.
Wow.
Heard it here first.
Roger, come on the show and defend yourself after that. That's tough.
Love it.
Didn't he do Rango?
He did do Rango. Yep. You bet. He has range, man.
It's his best movie.
Really.
All right. Best animated. I think this is probably the most anticipated one, particularly for Kody. So let's go ahead and give it to him. Kody, best animated film. What are we doing?
You know what? I'm going against my heart here.
Oh,
I'm really trying to win. I'm not going to pick Pinocchio.
Wow.
It really hurts to do it, but dude, there's too many Pinocchio movies. It's too confusing. I don't know which one. The
other one's live action, so there's no competition.
Yeah, but
and it's already out.
I guess it looks mostly animated. If you're doing the whole Marcel thing, I don't know what the hell they're going to nominate. But definitely check out Pinocchio in theaters. Guillermo del Toro, great director. But anywho, I'm going with the obvious pick here, Turning Red. I'm just trying to get points out here. Turning Red's going to get nominated. It's getting great reviews. Haven't seen it, but I like red pandas, so it seems like the easy choice. I mean, can't really argue with that.
I like red pandas. That's great. That's what an Academy member is saying when it vote for it. I love red pandas.
That's how deep of a thought process they have. So that's how I'm trying to think.
Probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
is anybody not Are you not picking that? Like everybody's picking that, right?
Well, I have the backbone to stand up for something that I believe in, and that's Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro.
No.
There we go.
From my many wanderings on this earth, I had so much to say about imperfect fathers and imperfect sons, and about loss and love. I've learned that there are old spirits who rarely involve themselves in the human world, but on occasion, they do. I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't. A story of the wooden boy.
Is going to get nominated for Best Animated. Listen, I mean, yeah, Turning Red. Obviously, you have the fake Marcel, whatever bullshit. It probably will also get nominated.
That's wild. If it does.
I mean, Pinocchio. Come on. I mean, Guillermo, again, another person who's well loved by the Oscars.
For sure.
And I think this probably will be the best Pinocchio movie to come out this year.
Yeah, I can tell you, I watched the first hour of Pinocchio today on a plane, the new one, and I would agree with you, even having not seen Del Toro's yet already. So, oof, a lot of uncanny valleys and mechas going on. Let me tell you.
Oh boy.
So,
Yeah. Well, let me keep the ball rolling with Kody. I'm going Turning Red. Kody, I think we've had 4 in a row now, something like that.
yeah.
So,
It's your
5 in a row.
fifth one total. So
Holy cow.
incredible stuff.
Cody, this is our year, buddy. We're going. I'm going to replace Korbin on your pod. It's going to be great. Yeah, Turning Red. I thought it was, again, a movie that seems like it came out years ago. Came out in March 2 with Batman, the Disney Plus only release. They should have released this in theaters. I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, I think it's a great Pixar. Is it the only Pixar we're getting this year or have gotten? I can't, off the top of my dome, can't think of another one we're getting. So
I really, in general, I feel like this has been a bit of
Lightyear.
a weak
Lightyear.
animated. Oh, Lightyear. Yeah.
Lightyear, yeah, it's not getting nominated. So Turning Red is my pick there. And yeah, slow Disney year of animation. We're getting like a Strange World Jake Gyllenhaal movie later, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
that doesn't look great. I've seen the trailer for that a couple times in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always playing every single
Yeah, it's
time.
always, I don't know why, but I always see it.
Yeah.
Not great.
I went to see Orphan First Kill and it was playing in the theater. I don't know what. I don't know.
A lot
I
of
don't think
overlap.
I don't think those audiences line up, but yeah, Turning Red. Great minds, Kody.
All right, so now we're getting into the nitty gritty of things, the really the big categories, I'd say, that people begin to really tune in for. So we're going to start with best screenplay. And I mentioned earlier about the potential for some international features to kind of get some love. And this is where it's going to come in. Best screenplay, I'm taking Decision to Leave. Park Chan-wook is again, another well-respected international filmmaker. This movie premiered at Cannes and received a lot of praise. And we've seen in these categories some international movies start to make their way. Last year, Worst Person in the World, which very deserving nomination, made it in this category. And let's continue that trend. And I'm taking Decision to Leave. Apparently a very gripping story from what I understand. So
hell yeah. I love that.
Good pick.
Cody, what do you think?
I feel like maybe this category is a little bit sparse when I was looking through it. The best option that I saw through it is Nope by Jordan Peele, excuse me.
Jordan Poole, Golden State
Poole.
Warrior fan. Nice.
Nope by Jordan Poole.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say, since the moment pictures could move, yeah, skin in the game.
But no, I do think it'll get a nom. Jordan Peele, I think historically at the Oscars has done fairly well as well. I think he's pretty respected in the Academy. And original screenplay, like I said, maybe a little bit tighter this year. So I think this will definitely get a nom. Good film. I haven't checked it out. We didn't do the watch list. Season 4 new thing. Still haven't checked it out, but I'll get it in the next episode for sure. But definitely a good pick here, I think.
Nice.
Still waiting for you to see Nope, Cody. Is it even still in theaters? That's the question.
No, I don't think so. I think I can rent it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, unless it's out somewhere else. I haven't really looked into it, but might have to go on Apple and pay the old $3.99 to check it out.
The way Jordan Peele intended.
I saw it a second time in theaters, and I really do enjoy it. I've heard some mixed things. Some people don't think the script is as tight, but I think it's a pretty good movie. The ending is probably the only place that it falters a little bit for me.
That's where I fall too. It's no Get Out, but that's hard to be a Get Out, you know?
Yeah, one of the best movies the past decade. It's hard to live up to that.
Yeah. Me, original screenplay. I'm going with Amsterdam. We talked about already. This one was tough too, because like there are a bunch of screenplays that I have just put in other categories below. But I think, David O. Russell historically slides in there with Silver Linings and American Hustle. We don't talk about Joy. But historically pretty good. I think he's due. And I don't support how the man conducts himself in a workplace, but he'll be nominated, I think, perhaps. So yeah, original screenplay, Amsterdam.
Very nice.
The thing that worries me is Jennifer Lawrence in this film. I believe she's not, right?
She is not.
You went through that, 20 names of Hollywood A-listers, and she wasn't on there for some reason. So that's kind of worrying.
I don't know if she wants to work for him anymore because of these reasons. I could be wrong. I think because there are a couple actors that I'm a little surprised. Christian Bale is one that has stuck with him for a long time, but there's definitely some actors that have very much stood against him for his workplace behavior.
Fair enough. Rip. Anywho.
Best adapted screenplay. Carter, why don't you go first?
Okay, so I'm making a game time decision. I have 2 movies written down.
Let's hear them both.
I can't do that. One of you might have it, but I will. Okay.
We already picked ours. We came prepared.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if you're gonna flip. I don't know what you have written down. I don't trust you in the slightest. I'm going with Rian Johnson. I'm going Glass Onion.
This is it.
You expected a mystery.
Get your hand off of that.
You expected a puzzle. But for one person on this island, this is not a game.
Also, really weird that this is an adapted screenplay now because it's just based off of an original
on what he already wrote. Right. Yeah.
So the chicanery of the Oscars, I love it.
It's like Borat.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I just saw this trailer today. They just released a trailer today, so
really?
Looks fun. It looks fun. I think he might slide in and get a nomination again. I was only hesitant because it is a sequel to a film that was nominated before, so I was a little scared. But I think he can slide in because I think the Academy does like Rian Johnson. They like nominating him. They don't like giving him awards, but they do like nominating him. And I'll be curious to see if anyone picks the other option that I was going to go with. But yeah, feel good about Glass Onion.
Well, I can say for sure that I'm not picking the other option because I'm also taking Glass Onion.
Oh, I feel good.
Knives Out nominated in this category. Well, nominated in Best Original Screenplay, like we mentioned. And like you said, the Oscars like him. I like him. I like Rian Johnson a lot. This is my most anticipated movie for the next 3 months. I love Knives Out. I think it's a near perfect movie outside of Daniel Craig's dumb accent. And I'm excited for this one. It's got a great cast. And like you said, the trailer today was pretty fantastic. And I think it's got a shot here. You mentioned the sequelness of it. I think this is a year that a lot of sequels are going to get love.
It is wild.
Black Panther, Top Gun, Avatar, like you mentioned. And then here's Glass Onion, maybe some
The Son
Doctor
is technically
Strange.
a sequel, kind of.
Son, the Father.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's weird.
Cody, are you taking Glass Onion as well, or are you going to be a little different?
Getting ganged up on, but I missed the trailer today, so maybe that's why I'm not picking this. I'll definitely have to check that out because I am excited to see it. I don't know if Rian Johnson's a good director. I feel like based off the majority of his movies,
You're just a Last Jedi hater.
He also made The Last Jedi, which is an abomination to the planet. But
like Breaking Bad, Cody, Looper. Come on, you like Rian Johnson.
I think based off your assessment of Knives Out, it's a little overrated, but it's a very good movie. Like I like that movie a lot. I think you just put it on a pedestal that's not really on. Anyways, and Madeline Klein's in this one, so that's interesting. But I'm gonna go with White Noise, which we haven't talked about at all. It's a Noah Baumbach picture. I checked out the trailer for it. It's a Netflix movie with Adam Driver. It looks really, really weird.
It's weird,
just based off the trailer. So I don't know what to think, but Like it's been getting a bunch of buzz, like getting some recognition at festivals and stuff. So I don't really know, but it's also got Greta Gerwig in like a leading role, which I think is so cool. Obviously,
Adam Driver and Greta Gerwig. I mean, they're a good pairing. They've done stuff together in the past. So,
but the story itself looks super weird and super interesting. So that's why I wanted to put it in an adapted screenplay, because it's based off like a famous book. So yeah, that's what I'm throwing here. Baumbach for the win.
Yeah, I mean, he's been nominated for original screenplay twice before, so I definitely think it's a good
track record.
Good
so
chance,
hopefully it pans out, but we'll see.
Moving on to our next category, Best Director.
Woo.
This is a huge one.
Yeah.
And we'll throw it over to Kody again. What do you think? Best Director?
Yeah, you brought up Babylon already. We've talked a little bit about it. Tony Maguire looks great. But I mean, Damien Chazelle, this guy's one of the better people working today, I believe. And I mean, track record as well. This guy's he's showing up at the Oscars. He's done very, very well. I'm excited for this movie, and I think he's probably a shoe-in to get a nom here, even if it's not like the best thing ever. Which I mean, it'll be hard to follow up, based off his past couple projects. Obviously the obvious ones, Whiplash and La La Land, which nearly cleaned out at the Oscars if Moonlight wasn't released in the same year. But I think he's definitely due for a nomination here.
This is a tough category to fill. 5 spots, ton of great directors. You get obviously people who have been nominated in the past, people who have won in the past. I decided to go with Sarah Polley for the movie Women Talking. Yep. This is one that it's a huge ensemble cast, and I was originally maybe looking at it for some acting roles, but I really think it'll probably lose out because of that ensemble nature, potentially. But it just premiered at Telluride. Pretty good reviews. It is
great reviews.
A pretty like small scale-esque film, I guess. It's basically women talking in a room.
Women talking.
But in order to make that interesting, you've got to have really good directing. And when you have actors ranging from very young to very old, there's a lot that the director can do to kind of direct actors and get good performances out of them. Maybe this is the year that do we get 3 women to win this award in a row?
It will be if she wins. Yeah.
It could be pretty cool. So I'm taking Sarah Polley at least for a nomination.
Very nice. It's a very dark story too. So if you've read the synopsis, it's not a lighthearted affair,
no, definitely very serious subject matter. The discourse around it I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see it. I think it's doing great. But
yeah. Well, all I can say is damn you, Kody. I picked Damien Chazelle.
Let's go.
Yeah, the youngest director to win the Best Director Oscar in history. Obviously, First Man didn't pan out in the successful Academy way that he wanted, but I mean, Whiplash and La La Land are like in my top 150 movies of all time. So I'm biased. Obviously, he knows how to tell a story about Hollywood, basically put old-timey Hollywood in the present day, and La La Land was successful. And now we're just literally putting him in it with all these great actors. I like his chances. So Damien Chazelle, Babylon, Academy loves him, loves that young little gazelle.
Well, I don't know if I should at this point should be really worried or excited that you two have aligned so much. It could be either very bad for me or very good for me.
Well, this is where I tell Kody I've been tanking. I'm just self-sabotaging to throw him under the bus.
Bold move.
Now we're getting into the actor categories. We're going to go Best Supporting Actor first. In my opinion, maybe the 2 toughest categories. Again, we didn't do great with these categories last year. Best Supporting Actor didn't get any right. So let's see if we can do it this year. I'll go first. I'm taking The White Noise Train, and I'm taking Don Cheadle all the way to the station here.
Cheadle.
I don't know. I like Don Cheadle. The man deserves some love. Iconic performance in Ocean's 11. And
he was nominated back in the day.
South African accent.
Hotel Rwanda back in the day. Old 2004 action.
Yeah. So let's give him a shot. I think this movie is going to be, I don't know. I hope it's well celebrated. It's Noah Baumbach. It's adaptation of a, tough to adapt book.
Yeah.
But, Don Cheadle, he's a good actor, and he's been stuck inside of a metal suit for too long.
Yeah, but he got out and he got to play Algae Rhythm, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then they just forgot Armor Wars existed. So
yeah, maybe we'll get some D23 announcement this week. Who knows? Who knows?
Big stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Love it.
Carter, what do you think? Best supporting actor.
So I was trying to figure out where to place this movie because I'm really excited about this movie. I'm putting Brendan Gleeson here for Banshees of Inisherin.
Call him Sonny Larry. Didn't you and he used to be the best of friends?
We're still the best of friends.
No, you're not.
Who says we're not? Sit somewhere else. Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you.
When you didn't do anything to me. I just don't like you no more.
You liked me yesterday.
Why does he not want to be friends with you no more? Why is he 12?
What the hell's going on with you, me feckin' brother?
He's dull, Siobhan.
This debuted at Venice this week to great reviews. Everyone is psyched about this. Martin McDonagh's new film about Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson doesn't want to be his friend anymore, and he has to wrap his head around that. And some other stuff happens around that. Barry Keoghan of The Best Joker is in it as well. And Martin McDonagh, he made one of my favorite movies, In Bruges. Three Billboards was kind of
celebrated at the Oscars.
Celebrated at the Oscars, but controversial, I think, at the time. But yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. And yeah, Brendan Gleeson never been nominated, so I'm thinking, it's one of those he's old, he's due, he's put in the work kind of nominations. So Brendan Gleeson, Banshees.
Definitely a good pick. We're on similar wavelengths because my guy is also very old, and I don't know if he's due for nominations, but he's definitely going to get them. I'm picking Anthony Hopkins for Armageddon Time.
There we go.
I mean, this guy doesn't miss really, especially late in his career. I feel like, I don't know, the past 5 years, he's probably been nominated for at least one thing. Obviously, he won Best Actor as well. But yeah, the old man Hop doesn't really miss. So I feel like it's a pretty safe bet.
The old man Hop. I love it. Transformer, he was great in that film. Yeah.
My boy Hop. Yeah, he got nominated for that too, probably. But yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Razzie, maybe.
Deservedly so.
Our King Odin.
Yeah.
Man, I always forget he was in the MCU too. Man, he's done it all. Good for him.
Maybe they'll bring him back because they're bringing back all the other dead as Guardians, right? Maybe he'll show up.
I guess. Who knows anymore, man?
Thor: Love and Thunder. What a mess. What is that? Jesus. Terrible. Anyways,
you have some more ranting to do, Kody. Have you thought about it more?
I just don't like that movie. I don't know. So it's just not good.
Don't worry, we're gonna see Brett Goldstein as Hercules in like 5 years. So get ready.
That's how long it takes.
Yeah,
when was Guardians 2 released, and we're finally getting Adam Warlock. So yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
All right, best supporting actress. We'll stick with you, Kody.
Best supporting actress. I am bouncing off a little bit of what Korbin was saying about women talking. It's hard to place this on where it's exactly going to get nominated. I think it has two very strong, claims in this specific category. You got Jessie Buckley and as well Claire Foy, obviously with Rooney Mara, I believe,
Frances McDormand,
lead actress. Well, yeah, but I don't think she's a massive part of the story. Maybe I should have gone with Frances McDormand. Good point. But I'm going with Jessie Buckley. I think, this movie in general, like you said, has been getting a lot of buzz. And I think her and Claire Foy will both get nominated. Bold take. Well, my official pick is going to be Jessie Buckley.
Nice. Might have some vote splitting going on. She's been nominated. She was nominated last year. Academy likes Jessie Buckley.
They know who she is, at least. That helps.
True. They nominated Claire Foy too back in the day. First Man. So good happen.
Good job.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this will be either a case of like two people get nominated for this movie in this category or nobody does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it, like, from what I understand and what I've heard about it is very much like a true ensemble, and everybody is very good. Like from even the little like kids that are in this are also fantastic. So I think
a bit worrying.
It'll be tough to kind of pick who will be the person to represent.
The more you keep talking, the more I maybe should change my pick. But
well, you already said it, so
there should be like an ensemble cast Oscar, like for movies like this.
I mean, absolutely, they do it at the SAG Awards, and does BAFTA do one as well? Like
probably BAFTA historically doesn't nominate Black people. Whoops.
That is also true about BAFTA.
Pour one out for Denzel.
Yep, tragedy.
Yep.
Of Macbeth, even.
Heyo.
Yeah, so for Best Supporting Actress, this is my last minute change that I made 10 minutes before we recorded. Probably the only thing I did change. And I really didn't hear about this person until today. I went Dolly De Leon for Triangle of Sadness. This movie premiered at Cannes, and she was kind of deemed as like the big breakout role. She was in a lot of international films prior to this, but in terms of like a wider, audience, this movie also has what's his fucking
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. This movie also has Woody Harrelson, which I mean, hey, that's exciting as it is. So Dolly De Leon, I'm excited to see Triangle of Sadness, a little neon film. They always have interesting stuff. So that's my pick for Best Supporting Actress.
Good pick.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Carter, round things out for us. Who's your Best Supporting Actress pick?
I'm jumping into the world of Spielberg. I'm taking Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans, playing little baby Steven's mom. And we all know Steven Spielberg loves to tell stories about single mothers.
I don't know. Who's that? Who's Steven Spielberg?
He made a film called, what did he make? Amistad. And
Empire of the Sun.
He did make Empire of the Sun.
Heard of that.
Thomas Newman's finest work. And everyone seems to be really praising this performance. It seems like Michelle Williams, from what I hear among the people, is that she's a shoo-in this year to win this. They're finally going to give it to her. So yeah, you don't have to cry about your son burning up in a house fire. You just have to have a son who likes to make movies. That was a Manchester by the Sea reference, everyone. Spoiler alert for that movie, I guess. Anyway, Michelle Williams, Fabelmans.
Sticking with the sad stuff. Just bring us down.
That's me. I love tragedy.
All right, before we move on to our double picks for the last three categories, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right, we're going to get started with Best Actor first. For these categories, we are doing 2 picks apiece. Why don't we just do one at a time? And we'll start with Kody Webb. Who's your first Best Actor nominee?
Yeah, let's do it. I brought up The Whale earlier, and you can't leave this guy out. Brendan Fraser. I'm putting all of my energy that he's going to get a nomination for this movie. I don't know if he has the best chance just because it is Brendan Fraser, but I think he deserves it. Coming back, doing sort of just completely different from, what we've seen him in the past. And also, like, he's gained some weight, but also obviously, like, some prosthetics as well. Kind of just a fun role. And acting opposite Sadie Sink as well. Stranger Things, great young actress. And it's been getting a lot of buzz. So, yeah, maybe not the best pick, but I'm just putting all my energy into Brendan Fraser.
Hey, I agree. Let's speak it into existence. Let's make it happen. I think kind of the general like Twitter community is really surrounded around Brendan Fraser and lifted it up. And a lot of people think this is very deserving. Obviously, he had, very early on, a very prolific and, successful monetarily career. And in the past few years has kind of fallen by the wayside, not been cast in things. He's had a rough year this year. I mean, he was in Doom Patrol, show that no longer exists, right? Because of the Warner Brothers stuff. And he was supposed to be in the Batgirl movie. Again, another thing that no longer will even come out because of Warner Brothers bullshit.
He's going to be the main villain as well.
Yeah, exactly. So a guy who had a really big year, or at least a big year and a half coming for him, kind of got some of that taken away. I'm hoping that he can, ride some of this, Venice praise that he's been getting. And I love to see it. I think he's just a really good dude. And I'm a big Scrubs fan, and I think he is the best part of the best episode of Scrubs.
That's a good storyline. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Great vibes, though, Gordon.
Is that you saying that he's your pick as well?
Yes, that was my pick. Sorry.
Cool.
Yes, I'm also going Brendan Fraser the Whale. Hey,
just confirming. Should I make it 3 for 3? Because I am.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I think it's his time. Like, guys, straight up, I think he might win it. It's like between him and someone else. I think. I'm listening. He was blacklisted in Hollywood for like speaking out against wrongdoings in the industry, and he was wrongly blacklisted. And he's a great presence, and his performance in this is apparently really great. So I'm all in. The Whale. Let's do it. Let's give him an Oscar. Twitter would go crazy.
In tears, following the standing ovation at Venice. It's really good to see.
Absolutely.
All right, Kody, what's your second pick for Best Actor?
Yeah, my second pick, and I really, really dislike this pick, but I'm going to go Austin Butler for Elvis. I think he will get a nomination. If I'm being completely honest, I really hope he doesn't, just based on the fact alone that he kept the Elvis voice after the role. That pisses me off so much.
He's stuck in it, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that kid, but he's pretty good in the movie, and I think this movie will get a bunch of nominations. Again, don't really hope so, but I feel like he definitely will get nominated. So that's my second choice.
Yeah, I definitely toyed with the idea, but I think for the reason that I just don't want him to get nominated, although I do think he might. I stayed away from it. And I went for a big favorite of yours, Kody, Hugh Jackman for The Son.
Yeah.
This seems to be getting some noise, and I think I think if it's not Brendan Fraser, I'd be okay with Hugh Jackman winning this award as well.
I think it's between those two.
Yeah, I think he's great, and I'm really excited to see both of these movies. So is that your pick as well, Carter?
No.
Oh, okay.
I went with Elvis. Same reasons. Austin Butler.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think he's listen, the Academy loves when a person puts on some makeup and partially sings stuff. He doesn't sing all of the stuff. He sings the early stuff. That's key. You can't sing it all because then the Academy will be like, no. So that's why Rami got it, and that's why Jennifer Hudson didn't get a nomination, and that's why Austin Butler is going to get this nomination. He won't win. It's okay, guys. He won't win, but it'll get him a chance to maybe get some interviews of him talking like Elvis still. If he's still talking like Elvis in March, there's some problems because he's got to be, if he's Elvis in Dune, I'm going to be upset. So
that would actually kind of be funny. I'd be there for that.
I think it would probably, in any other movie, it wouldn't work, but I think in Dune, it would maybe make some sense, honestly.
Look at that sandworm over there. Yeah, it'll be something like that. Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Him and Florence Pugh.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited.
Miss
Flo.
I do want to shout out Hugh Jackman though. I mean, he's been robbed multiple times at the Academy, so I think he's due for a big time win. So I kind of hope that one's true as well, Korbin. But yeah, Austin Butler, not the biggest fan, but I would like to see that in Dune too.
Best Actress. I'm gonna go with my first pick here of somebody who I think is gonna win this award, Cate Blanchett for the movie Tar.
Time is the thing. Time is the essential piece of interpretation. You cannot start without me. I start the clock. However, unlike a clock, sometimes my second hand stops, which means time stops. The reality is that it's not until I once again decide to raise that hand that time is allowed to continue marching along her very merry way.
Again, playing a person in real life. I think she learned piano to actually play this role, and then maybe also learn some German as well. So just big commitment, well celebrated actress. I think she's won twice before, maybe one supporting and one best actress, or both supporting. But this movie is one that actually did get some. It's a festival premiere that has actually been like, oh wow, this movie's actually good. Whereas a lot of the festival premieres recently have been kind of maligned a little bit. So it's exciting to see this movie's doing well. Todd Fields, celebrated director, and punching in Tar.
Great pick, and I'll bounce right off that. 'Cause I did also pick Cate Blanchett for one of my picks. This movie just sounds really cool as well. I mean, it's kind of like a pioneer story about her in the orchestral world. That's correct how you say that, but it looks like fairly powerful stuff. And Cate Blanchett does that super well. And yeah, I didn't even know all those details you put in, Korbin, as well. Evidently, she put in some work on the piano, which is not easy at all. So respect for that. But I feel like she's a shoo-in to get nominated here.
Make it 3 for 3, boys. Yep, Cate Blanchett and Tar. Yes, previously one for The Aviator and one for Blue Jasmine, I believe. So
there you go.
Some Woody Allen magic, of course, there.
Who does she play in The Aviator? She plays
Katharine Hepburn.
Hepburn. Yep.
She is really good in that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she probably could win her third Oscar, is what it's sounding like. Yeah, she plays a conductor recording a symphony. So it looks really fun. And again, I love Todd Fields' work. Little Children, underrated. In the Bedroom, haven't seen, but it's on my watch list.
Last year, we all three picked Jennifer Hudson for Respect, and we know how that turned out. So hopefully this is not.
You didn't get any respect.
Yeah,
no,
no respect.
Hey.
For my second pick for Best Actress, this is where I'm taking the Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. She is really fantastic in this movie. It is it came out early in the year. It is a little bit weird, the Daniels and their genre bending stuff. But she's so great. And she is, again, well beloved. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, hugely celebrated Ang Lee film. And I'd love to see her get this nomination.
Minions Rise of Gru this year. Just thought I'd throw that gem out there.
Was she in that?
She was.
Oh, damn, no.
Yeah. She's just getting a paycheck.
Yeah, you got to make your money.
Yeah, but so is Judi Dench, right? So like.
Oh yeah, Julie Andrews comes back.
Julie Andrews, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
not Judi Dench. Julie Andrews.
Just to get a paycheck and get in good with the kids. Yeah.
But I also 100% am taking Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I could have taken the bait one and put it in editing, but I really do think she definitely deserves to get nominated. I think she will as well. Your points as well, Korbin. But I mean, this has been my favorite.
All three of our favorite movies of the year?
No.
Not yours.
It's mine. It's mine.
Not yours, Kody. Okay, fine.
I like the Batman. But no, I think she's ridiculously good in this movie. I think it's one of the better performances of the year for sure. So I had to pick her for this, no doubt.
All right, Carter, wrap us up.
I'm dissenting from you guys because obviously I picked Everything Everywhere already, so I couldn't put her here. This was my last minute change that I made 5 minutes before we started recording. She got an 11-minute standing ovation at Venice. I took Ana de Armas in Blonde.
I guess I was discovered. I know you're supposed to get used to it. But I just can't. Square cut or pear shape. I've played Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. I can't face doing another scene with Marilyn Monroe.
And it was something that I didn't want to do and didn't want to do for a long time because of the NC-17 Netflix stuff, chicanery, and I wasn't feeling confident in it. It seems like everyone is really in on this performance now. And I think as much of anything, it's celebrating Marilyn Monroe and not Ana de Armas. I'm sure she does a wonderful job. I'm sure it's a great performance. But I think it's time to celebrate Marilyn Monroe, much as we've celebrated Judy Garland in the past. Shout out Renee Zellweger for doing a movie. I'll tell you later who I took off, who I was going to put here, but I don't feel good about it.
All right. So now, Best Picture. Now, in theory, this should be easier, right? Because there's 10 movies, or at least potentially 10 movies that are nominated. Or no, it's 10, right?
Up to 10.
It
Yeah.
has to be 10, yeah. So 10 movies, and we're picking 2. Carter, why don't you get us started?
My first one, again, incredibly hard because things are skewing about in this little rat race we've made. The first one I'm taking is The Sun. I think it's gonna have some great performances. Hugh Jackman, obviously Florian Zeller is back to direct this one, who did The Father, which also obviously won Anthony Hopkins an Oscar, and obviously got I think it won Best Editing. I can't remember. Best Production Design, won a bunch of technicals, nominated for Best Picture and Best Director, Screenplay. If it's anything that film is, I think the Academy loves. I think this is their tragedy story that they like to throw in to make people upset when they watch the movie. So I'm going with The Sun here for my first Best Picture nominee. Do you want me to do all, or are we just hopping back to you guys?
We'll throw it over to Kody.
Yeah, for my Best Picture picks, I'm pretty much just going incredibly safe. I don't know if either of these movies will win or have a good chance of winning, but my first pick is going to be Top Gun Maverick, which I saved for the best for last. I mean, again, I haven't seen this movie, but evidently it's very good. I know it's going to get nominated for a crap ton of the Oscars, and I feel like this is a shoo-in. I mean, based off the longevity of the box office, I think it's back to number 1 this week, which is unbelievable. Yeah. But I think this will definitely get a nom. So yeah, Top Gun Maverick, save the best for last. Best Picture.
I really hope so.
Top Gun Maverick was the highest grossing film over Memorial and Labor Day weekend.
Has that ever happened?
Unprecedented stuff, if I mean.
It saved movies, right?
Eat your heart out,
Tom Cruise.
Nolan.
Yeah, eat your heart out. Fuck that, right? No, good movie. Underrated.
Good movie.
People are
Underrated.
haters.
Yeah, I agree. Big Nolan guy.
I think everybody kind of likes it. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hey, go Barbie. All right. both of my picks have already been talked about, so I won't, stay on either of them for very long. I'll go with a more controversial pick first. Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
Now, obviously, the original Black Panther was nominated for Best Picture. It hugely impactful, a very important story for a lot of Black people in America and all across the world. And I think this will continue to be something very important. I trust Ryan Coogler, obviously, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman and the handling of that. I think this has potential to be, very good, especially with a rough Marvel theatrical year. Definitely won't be very hard to be the best Marvel movie of the year. And I think if it can touch the impact that the first movie had, I think it'll get a nomination here. And, Angela Bassett, she's great.
Oh my God, she's eating in that trailer. Yes.
Yeah, great trailer. That's my second pick, 100%. I feel like everything you said. I mean, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, I'm sure they're going to do some like emotional stuff towards that. That's Oscar bait. And then, I mean, the cultural impact of the first one was ridiculous. So I think this is 100% going to be nominated as well. So the Coog man, I mean, that guy's ridiculous. We say this a lot, but one of the better working directors today, I think. So Black Panther.
Yeah. Obviously this movie had a rough production, which is the only thing that really scares me about it. I hope that at the end of the day, it turns out okay.
I have to say, I felt the same way, and then seeing the trailer, like all my bad concerns were just washed away when I watched the trailer. So
and they're doing Namor too. Like they're doing an interesting story, I think, and that has cultural relevance as well. So yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very excited. Carter, what's your second pick?
My final pick, once again, it's a movie we've already talked about, but I put Women Talking here for Best Picture. Seems a shoo-in after the ovation and everything we've talked about. Great performances, great director, all female led cast. I think it would be really good to see this at Best Picture. So Women Talking.
And then my final pick is The Banshees of Inisherin. Like you said, In Bruges, 3 billboards, well respected. Seems to have gotten pretty good reviews. And shout out the Penguin.
Shout out the
things
Penguin.
Off. Shout out the Penguin. So
how about it? Best makeup.
All right, guys, we got through it. And now's the time when I read all the picks back to you.
Yes.
To recap, let's see if I can do this.
Good luck.
In Best Documentary, I selected Navalny. Carter and Kody both selected Fire of Love. In Best International, I selected RRR. Carter selected Close, and Kody also selected RRR. For Best Makeup and Hairstyling, I selected Babylon. Carter selected The Batman, and Kody selected Blonde. In Best Production Design, I selected All Quiet on the Western Front. Carter selected Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and Kody took The Batman. For Best Costume Design, I took Blonde. Carter took The Woman King, and Kody took Amsterdam. For Best Sound, I took Elvis. Carter took Top Gun Maverick, and Kody took The Woman King. For Best Visual Effects, I took Avatar Way of Water, and Carter and Kody once again matched with Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. For Best Editing, I took The Fabelmans. Carter took Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Kody took The Sun. For Best Original Score, Carter and Kody both took Empire of Light, which was done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's not Empire of the Sun, it's Empire of Light. And then I took Top Gun Maverick, Hans Zimmer, Lady Gaga. Best Cinematography, I took Bardo. Carter took Avatar Way of Water, and Kody also took Avatar Way of Water. Best Animated, I stuck to my guns and believed in something important, unlike some people, and took Pinocchio. Carter and Kody took Turning Red. For Best Screenplay, Kody took Nope. Carter took Amsterdam, and I took Decision to Leave. For Best Adapted Screenplay, Carter and I both selected Glass Onion and Knives Out Story, and Kody took White Noise. For Best Director, I selected Sarah Polley for Women Talking. Carter took Damien Chazelle for Babylon, and Kody also selected Damien Chazelle for Babylon. For Best Supporting Actor, I decided on Don Cheadle for White Noise. Carter took Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin, and Kody took Anthony Hopkins for Armageddon Time. For Best Supporting Actress, I took Dolly DeLeon for Triangle of Sadness. Carter took Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Kody took Jessie Buckley for Women Talking. For Best Actor, all three of us picked Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Carter and Kody both selected Austin Butler for Elvis, and I took Hugh Jackman for The Son. For Best Actress, we all selected Cate Blanchett for Tar. Kody and I both took Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Carter went with Ana de Armas for Blonde. For Best Picture, Kody and I both took Wakanda Forever. Carter took The Son. Kody took Top Gun Maverick. Carter also took Woman Talking, and I also took Banshees of Inisherin. Those are our picks. Lots of great movies, a lot of movies that haven't come out yet, and a ton of movies that have been released. Definitely check them all out, and I'm excited to see come March how things will pan out. Kody, how do you feel? Are you confident?
I'll tell you what, I feel a lot better than the last episode. I feel like this time around we agreed on a lot more. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Basically, it means either we're right about a lot of stuff or we're very, very wrong. So I'm feeling good, though. I think come around March, I'm sure there will be a lot of differences, but I think we hit like most of the stuff that is favored right now, and that's about all you can do.
Cardi, what do you think?
I kind of agree with Kody again, which seems to be the theme of this this podcast. We had I counted, Kody. We had 9 overlapping categories as he went through there. Yeah, I think the reason we all are agreeing on so much is that there's very few movies that are like really going to be great. I think because that's why it feels that like there's a lot of similarities as opposed to last year where we were kind of all over the place. So I think we also might have a better understanding of how to do this now.
Yes,
having done it once.
I definitely concur. I think being through it, I think looking at Cody's list, I could already say you definitely did better than the 3 you got last year, Kody.
For sure.
I better get more than 3. That's all I care about.
I don't know if anyone will. I don't know. I think that 13-ish number, obviously we added 2 more categories, but I think around there is kind of probably where we're going to end up just because a lot of the overlap and things are going to miss out. But I'm definitely excited, and I hope you guys come back in a couple months to hear our official release of the nominees and then our picks for the winners.
Woo!
Let's move on to, we have a Podgorithm.
Season 4.
Season 4. There we go.
Woo!
I'm going to draw a movie as always. Oh, look at this. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
No way. That's sick.
Carter, 30 seconds. Take it away.
Oh, man. What a film. I watched this for the first time during COVID. And I got to say, incredible. Ang Lee, obviously. Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh. Just incredible stuff. This got nominated, I think, for Best Director at the Oscars. Speaking of Oscars, as well as International Film. I think it won International Film that year. It's great. Incredible combat. Great love story at the center. Really, really cool stuff to watch. That's my time. Even if I have more time. It came out in
7
2000.
seconds.
It came out in 2000. There's not a lot of tigers and not a lot of actual dragons in the film. Done.
Kody.
I back everything Carter said. I mean, I think the action in this movie is kind of trend setting and sets stage for a lot of modern sort of fight scenes. And I think that's really cool. Ang Lee, I mean, his directorial style, it kind of varies throughout all of his movies. He has some interesting choices at times, but I think in this one specifically, he makes all of the right choices. One of my favorite films for him, like easily. But I mean, as far as kung fu movies goes, this is about the standard. So as good as it gets. Shout out Michelle Yeoh. Probably better in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but very, very good this as well.
Well, I unfortunately have never seen this movie, and I do need to check it out. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Ang Lee's Hulk from 2003.
No, the movie's terrible.
Incredible film. Great stuff. This is really just kind of a star-making performance for Michelle Yeoh. Obviously, if you were really into kung fu movies prior to this, you probably knew who she was, but this is like her entrance into the mainstream. And it's cool, here 22 years later, to hopefully see her get nominated for Best Actress.
Also, the Ang Lee Hulk movie, the way that it's edited is just so weird. Yeah.
I don't know what you wanted them to do in 2003 with Hulk movie, but
Dude,
that's
Ang Lee has one of the best filmographies or most diverse filmographies of any director, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Life of Pi.
Life of Pi, good movie. Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. Gemini Man.
Pride, Sense and Sensibility. I mean, guy's done it all. Gemini. Yeah.
You
I
almost
haven't thought
said
about
you almost said
Gemini.
Pride and Prejudice there, huh?
Yeah. Sense and Sensibility. I got the wrong Jane Austen novel. My B.
All right, Carter, before we wrap things up, give me your top 5 movies of 2022.
Holy cow.
lot.
Well, do you want from 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
Surprise me.
Okay, 5 to 1. Number 5, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. What a film. I cried in the theater with Korbin. It was a good time.
You cried next to me. I wouldn't say I also I don't think you really cried either, but there was a watering, a misting, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not. Who's to say? Number 4, I got Nope. Tremendous film. Jordan Peele's Jaws, basically. Great visuals. Loses me in the end, but the visuals kept me. Number 3, Top Gun Maverick. Gosh, what a film. The film of a century, man. Dads and moms will love, because I went with my dad and he was like, whoa. And I went with my mom and she was like, oh. So it was great. Number 2, The Batman. Stellar theater experience. It was a blast. Really long, but like didn't feel long at all when I was in it. Great new Batman. And number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, technically, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On was released in 2021. So I got to say, my actual 5th film that was released in 2022 is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And that's where I stand.
Marcel came out this year. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, they debuted at a festival in September of last year, but it's a 2022 release. Let's be real. So yeah. Honorable mention to Bodies, Bodies, Bodies then.
Cody, have you seen 5 movies that have come out this year? Do you know?
Possibly, but I can't ramble off the top of my head. My pick for the best one so far would be the Batman.
Batman.
Probably Everything Everywhere All at Once, number 2. But yeah, that's probably about it for me.
Elvis not cracking your top 3?
Well, I have seen other movies, but I just really haven't enjoyed them that much. so Elvis is nowhere near that top 3. But same with Thor Ragnarok, yeah. But I can name a couple other ones too. But those are my 2 favorites for sure.
The Batman sits at 6 for me, just outside the top 5. For me, I got 5 RRR. Really incredible stuff. Needs to be seen by more people. 4, Top Gun Maverick. Again, just like the pinnacle of what a blockbuster should be. 3, Cha Cha Real Smooth, which I think I'm just a really big fan of Cooper Raiff. Dakota Johnson's great as well.
I've yet to see that. I need to see that.
Yeah, definitely one I recommend. I think it's a little bit more hit and miss for people, but I enjoyed it a lot. 2, Nope. And then to wrap things up at number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Stuck with me. I've seen it twice this year, and it's still definitely my favorite movie. So
a banger. Absolutely.
So I recommend all of those movies, and then we'll also move on to our recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
I drink your milkshake. I drink
Cody,
it up.
What do you want to recommend to the people?
Yeah, I got a lot of recs this week. Been finishing up a lot of TV actually, and finally came around to finish Umbrella Academy season 3. And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty bad season.
That's what Jackson was saying actually this week too. Said the same thing. Yeah,
it's not great. I mean, it was their COVID season, and it's basically just like half a season. Like I don't even understand the ending, and I don't particularly care to look up all the theories and shit. But they are doing another season, so maybe that'll explain it. But really, nothing's explained. But anyways, also checked out House of Dragon, the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
3rd episode I actually really enjoy. They do a pretty good time jump, and I've heard they're going to do that a lot more. So I think some of the actresses are going to get replaced, sadly. But the 3rd episode was sick. Damon is a complete badass. I think he's my favorite character, and Rhaenyra as well is just so fun to watch, I think. But good show. Check it out. They give like the king a lot more depth, like politically and character wise too, which I didn't expect. I just kind of expected him to die early, but good show. Definitely check it out. And then my other 2 things, She-Hulk did release another episode today, and I think I'm off the She-Hulk train on this episode. Not great. They brought back Wong again, which I do like.
Carter
Wong
hasn't seen it, right? I don't think so.
That's you don't need to spoil this episode of She-Hulk for me. It's okay. Keep going. I got off the She-Hulk train after episode 1, so keep going.
Well, I actually liked episode 1, weirdly enough, but the past couple have not been very good. This one continued that standard. Yeah, I think in the past on this podcast I've said give Benedict Wong more roles. This was not what I was talking about. This is pretty bad, but don't particularly check that out. And then the last thing, I've been on the Succession train. I've watched. Yes. I believe I have like 2 more episodes left in season 1, and I'm getting into it. I actually really like it. Brian Cox, phenomenal actor. I think that guy's very underrated.
Right in those McDonald's commercials. Yeah.
True. Yeah. But I just got to the part in the season, spoiler alert, where basically they try to take over the company and it fails, and now the main guy's gone into drugs and stuff. And
Kendall,
Ken the boy,
Jeremy Strong,
great actor. Yeah, what's his name? McCulkin. So
Kieran
good.
Culkin. Yeah,
I love that guy. Favorite character by far.
Roman, great.
Yeah. I think the season's getting good. So I mean, evidently the continuing seasons are even better. So I may be hooked. This may be my new Game of Thrones here, and I'm just gonna binge the crap out of it. But yeah, kind of a lot of Rex this week. I've been watching a shit ton of TV, so hopefully continue that. Going into Oscar season and check out a bunch more movies.
I'll jump on that train. I did watch first season of Succession, and I admit I haven't been as good with sticking with the second season. But something I did check out this past week was this New Yorker article that came out back in December about Jeremy Strong.
Oh, phenomenal.
It's a very long article. Carter, have you read it?
Yeah, I have.
I actually listened to it because they have like a listen option, but it's 40 minutes long.
Holy cow.
Really interesting profile of him. The reason I checked it out is because he recently came out and was like, I felt kind of like that it was a betrayal of my trust the way I was presented. But he's just like a really out there dude. And, he looks up to Daniel Day-Lewis a ton. And it was definitely an interesting look into kind of his psyche and kind of the way he approaches that Kendall Roy character. It makes me have a greater appreciation for that show as a whole and what they've been able to accomplish.
Fair. I'll have to check it out maybe. That's funny.
Yeah, no, but definitely interesting article. I can't, speak to how accurate things are or how, if he's presented in a good or negative light. I think it kind of just presents him as he is, and maybe he's not the best person. But in terms of She-Hulk, I actually enjoyed episode 4 in terms of it being like a comedic episode. Like it stuck. I think it was the most sitcom-y episode that we've had so far. I thought some of the Wong stuff was kind of funny, Kody. Maybe you disagree, but
I think it's just bad. I don't know if there's any fun in. I don't think there's any fun in the.
You didn't like the Sopranos stuff? That didn't connect with you?
Well, I haven't seen the Sopranos. Maybe that was my big miss.
There you go.
But yeah, it's
Sopranos jokes.
Don't check it out.
Something else that I watched a while ago, and I know it's been talked about a ton on your podcast, but the Rehearsal on HBO Max from Nathan Fielder is great. It's only 6 episodes. If you have any time, definitely check that out. I had a big Saturday. We talked about it on the last podcast, but I did see 4 movies in theaters last Saturday: Top Gun Maverick in IMAX, Emily the Criminal, Jaws, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And Jaws, first time watch in IMAX was pretty exciting. I know that
was your first time
watching it. So
oh my
I
God.
figured, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. And
did it right.
Definitely a good one to check out. So what can you say about the Steven Spielberg classic? But
I'm jealous. I wish I'd
before I throw it over to you, Carter, I also watched Sam Morril's Same Time Tomorrow special, which I know you checked out as well.
I did.
I thought it was pretty good. It was short, which was nice. It was like
45 minutes. Yeah.
Get a good, get your jokes in and get out. I think that's good. What were your thoughts on that, Carter?
I enjoyed it a lot. I just turned it on one night before my friends came into town for Labor Day weekend, had some time to kill. I really enjoyed it. And he recorded it in Chicago too. So there were some nice Chicago jokes there too, which was fun. I like how he I'm not big on like when people work the crowd and that's like their only thing, but he did some of that and it worked. And with his material, I don't like it when that's just all you do and you just rely on that because it's just kind of cumbersome, but I thought it was really great. Yeah. Agreed.
What other recommendations do you have for us, Carter?
Ooh, I'm going to echo House of Dragon sentiments. I'm really loving this show. It's really nice to have Game of Thrones back in my life now and actually feel like old Game of Thrones. Like it feels like prime Game of Thrones season stuff. Rings of Power also checked out. I'm loving that as well. I hate that the racists are coming out of the woodwork and they're like, "What? Elves aren't black." So that's been no fun. But the show is great. It's fucking fantasy. Calm down, you weebs. And so I've been loving that. I checked out.
Well,
John
actually,
Boyega.
when J.R.R. Tolkien wrote it, it was about.
Go outside and
go
see
talk
a
to J.R.R.
black person.
Tolkien. Oh wait, he's fucking dead.
Ooh, got him. Go talk to someone that's not white and lives in your basement and serves.
Go
you
outside.
Yeah. How about that?
Lives in your basement.
Gosh. Anyway, speaking of great black actors, John Boyega. I checked out this movie called Breaking, where he plays this true life guy.
You liked it?
I liked it. I had a good time with it. I think that's movie is nothing without John Boyega. Michael K. Williams given a pretty steadfast performance there as well. His final on-screen performance, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I said this last week on the pod. I was just kind of disappointed with a lack of him in the movie. I would
have loved to have more of him. Yeah, because I thought what he was doing was strong, and I didn't get enough of him. But yeah, I enjoyed John Boyega doing his stuff. Maybe an Oscar nom. I don't know, but maybe we'll see. What else? Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
I'm excited to check that out.
It was pretty good, pretty fun. It was cool. The way that they filmed it, like a documentary, some parts, and then like not like in its own narrative in other parts. Thought it was fun.
Better or worse than The Eyes of Tammy Faye?
I think just performance wise, probably worse. But I don't know. I kind of liked Eyes of Tammy Faye, so I'm kind of on but maybe that was the Andrew Garfield effect on me. But it's kind of different story wise, but yeah. Other than that, I think that's been it. I checked out Marnie yesterday, an old Alfred Hitchcock film with Sean Connery in the peak of James Bond, which was cool. And then I'm gonna finish Pinocchio tonight because I didn't get to finish it on the plane, and I'm not looking forward to finishing it. Unfortunate. Tom Hanks, he's having a great year of accents, let me tell you. Yeah. Pinocchio.
All right, you have two more recs that you have to give us. First one, recommend a animated short film for the people. What should people check out?
Animated short film. I'm trying to think of recent ones I've seen, but honestly, there's one called what's it called? It's called like Guacamole or something. And it's literally just like, it's like, you know those videos on Facebook where it's like, this is the most satisfying thing you'll see all day. Like, yeah. It's like that. Like some guy like opens an avocado and there's like a 8-ball inside, and it's just like a bunch of like weird animated, like that's what should be there. So that's a good one. That would be my animated short I recommend. Also any like Looney Tunes short, because they're like vaguely racist sometimes, and it's quite something to see. Oh, one more, When Donald Duck Loves Hitler. That's a good one too. That's a wild one. I'm nominated for best animated short. Check that out. It's on YouTube. Weird.
Lovely. And then the second recommendation, would there be a podcast that people should listen to, Carter?
Yeah, I'm going to suggest Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. No. Check out the Rough Cut Retrospective, guys. We're pretty much talk about movies and TV and pop culture, what these guys are doing. If you like what they're doing, you'll love what we're doing. We're about to hit episode 100. So big milestone coming up this month. And then look forward to that. And then Jackson and I are retooling and revamping the show for the next 100 episodes. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited for it. But yeah, check us out. We just released an episode inspired by Kody and Korbin here, coming out on, it's probably out by the time this is out.
It'll be out. Yep.
Amazing. We did a little streaming recommendation episode.
Ooh, okay.
And a little we did like a hierarchy as well. We debated like, would you buy this? Is this a shared account, or would you like,
steal it from your parents? Yeah, I like that.
Your parents. So we had a little conversation inspired by the conversation you guys had. We enjoyed that episode, so we retooled it a little bit. And yeah, got some exciting stuff coming down the pipe. Episode 100. Look out for that one.
That's awesome. Excited to hear about. They're always doing great things over there at the Rough Cut Retrospective, and Kody and I are over there a lot. So definitely check them out.
Against our better judgment, we have them on. So
true. I am pumped for that episode and revamping the show. That's very exciting. I'm pretty excited for that too. So yeah, definitely check them out.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, we finally got through it, guys. It's been a long one.
That was a long one. Oh, man.
It's been a pleasure.
I love it.
And we'll see who will, if Carter can continue to reign supreme as the Oscars expert. Honestly, if you lose Carter, it kind of just is bad on you. And if we lose, it's just like, oh, well, we lost again, you know?
I won't watch a movie ever again.
We'll hold you to that.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Stay yapping.
Peace.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.